So I'm really drawn to these kind of polarized states and that space in between, and I feel that that's really the space from which I make art. So that could be the masculine and the feminine, the hard and the soft, the pleasure and the pain. I was really exploring not just different materials, but also themes of permanence and transience. So I first started making this work in January 2018, and it was when I just learned that my mother was terminally ill. And I was just flooded with images and memories of us around the kitchen table and home and cautionary tales and cups of tea and just family and mum. Ended up stealing a few of my parents' tea towels, and I brought them back to my studio in Brooklyn, and I began making these clusters of gloves that were very much about the fight and the difficulty and the trauma and the violence that my mother had experienced, and certain similarities as I had grown older. I feel I had certain experiences that she had played out in my later years as well. I began writing down these quotes, these snippets of conversations and remembered encounters, and I began to create what I'm referring to as the poem, for want of a better word. And it's basically a long piece of text where it's all kind of jumbled up, and it's something that I will probably continue to add to for a long time. And then I'll acquire or collect a tea towel, and based on what's going on there, whether that's embroidery that's already on it, whether it's a pattern or even a picture or a stain, I will then select what piece of text I think marries best with that textile and what's going to be most powerful. So for me, the clusters of gloves, I've always wanted to use really diverse materials, if that makes sense. So from really fancy tea towels and hand towels from the turn of the century or the 1920s to the very kind of basic farm ones, to the almost horribly tacky 1970s ones that look like your grandmother's bed sheets. I want to tell a story of a diverse picture of women from all walks of life that kind of bound together in the similar experiences that we have. When I think about this exhibit and I think about what I want people to take away, I guess for me the main takeaway is that although this work comes from a personal place and so much of it is about my experience, I think I want the resounding thought to be how it's really about all of us and it's really for all of us. And I don't think that there is a person who identifies as a woman who hasn't at some point had her power taken away from her, or been told she's too emotional, or she's not doing it right, she's not doing enough, she's not enough. I'm expressing our strength and our pleasure, and I think that that's an important part of the work for me.